Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode of my tutorial series on software development. In the previous episode, we have successfully created data access layer for our user module, that is methods to create, update, delete and select users from database. In this episode, we will add actual functionality in our user module. So without further delay, let's move to our tutorial series. Let's open our project. As soon as the project is open in Visual Studio, let's go to the Solution Explorer, and in UI folder let's open Form Users. Double click on Form Users and the Form Users just opens here. So I'll not need this right now. So first of all, we will add a functionality to add the user. So just double click on Add button to create a add button click event. So I'll just double click on add button. So we have successfully created button add click event. In here we will add the code to add users in our database. So first of all, we will need to get all the data in our form and set in our business logic layer. So getting data from UI. For this, we will first of all we will need to create two objects for our class, business logic layer class and data access layer class. So let's look at our business logic layer class, user BLL. So user BLL u is equals to new user BLL. So just hover over the error and click on show potential fixes and using anystore.bll, and another will be user DAL. DAL is equals to new user DAL. So hover over the error and click on show potential fixes and using anystore.dal. So this is business logic layer class and this is data access layer class DAL. The name are u and DAL. So let's set the data into business logic layer from the UI, that is u dot first name is equals to txt first name dot text dot to string. It's okay if we don't add dot to string, it's already in the first name is already in string, so we don't need to change it into a dot to string. So again, another is u dot last name is equals to txt last name dot text, then first name last name, then email username, u dot email is equals to txt email dot text, u dot username is equals to txt username dot text, then u dot password is equals to txt password dot text, username password, then contact and address, contact. So u dot contact is equal to txt contact dot text, then u dot address is equal to txt address dot text, then u dot gender is equal to txt, is it txt or cmb, gender dot text, then last one is u dot added by, so it will be, it is added by or user type, it is user type. So u dot. Now another one is user type. So u dot user type is equals to cmb user type dot text. So this is all from the user form UI, but we need to add other two fields too that are added by and edited. We have obtained values from form that are first name, last name, email, username, password, contact address, gender, and user type. This added date and added by will be added in backend, so it will not be added by the users. It will not be input by the user, so we will need to add it manually. So u dot added date will be date time dot now, so it will give the date time when the user adds into database. And another will be u dot added by. So here in this field, the ID of a user who adds a new user will be added. For now we will add 1 as a added by. Later when we have a login form, we will get the ID of the user who is logged in and input it in added by field. For now we will just add 1 as a added by field. Now we have set all the data in setter, that the business logic layer. Now inserting data into database. For this we will be using data access layer, that is DAL object here. So for this we will declare a boolean type variable, bool success is equals to DAL dot insert, and here will go, you will pass the value inside the method. So this is it. If data is successfully inserted, then the value of success will be true, else the value of success will be false. So if the data is successfully inserted, then the value of will be true, else it will be false. So let's check if the data is successfully inserted or not. If success is equal to true, data inserted, else failed, insert data. So whenever data is inserted or data insertion is failed, we will need to show a message. For this we will use message box dot show data or user successfully created, and for fail message will be message box dot show failed to add new user. So this is it. Let's run the application and check if the add functionality works perfectly or not. I'll just save by pressing Ctrl and S and click on start. So go to the users menu and add. First name will be my name, Vijay Thapa. Email will be .com and username will be 3 and password will be 123456 and contact will be 98 something something, Kathmandu, Nepal. Gender will be male and user type will be, let's add the user. So I'll click on add. So if the user is added successfully, then we should see a message. So let's click on add. So invalid column name first name, so there's a error. So let's go and check our database. Okay, failed to add new user, got it. Let's close the application. So let's check our table first. Oh, I made a mistake while creating a database. It has feast name, so I need to update the database. So I'll just start my SQL server, connect databases, any store tables tbl underscore users. So I'll just go to design view, design, and here I need to make it first, not feast, first. So I'll just press Ctrl and S to save. So I have saved the database. Let's see. So I need to refresh the database, refresh. So it's now first underscore name. So let's run our application. It should work now. Start users Vijay Thapa com, username 3, password 1234556, contact something, address Kathmandu, Nepal, gender male, and user type will be user. So I'll just click on add. So user successfully created. We have successfully added our user. So when we click on OK, we should see the user in this data grid view. So we currently do not see the users on our data grid view. Let's add the functionality to see the users on our data grid view if there are any users. So I'll just close it, and when the data is inserted or failed, let's refresh the data grid view, that is refreshing data grid view. So for this we'll need to create a data table. Data table is a temporary table to store data from database. So data table dt is equals to dal dot select, and then dgb users. Dgb users is the name of our data grid view. So dgb users dot data source is equals to dt. So this will refresh our data grid view whenever we click our button, add button. We also need to see the data whenever we click on our user form. So I'll just go to the users form, this is user form. So and go to the properties, and in event I will create a page load event. So where is it? Load event, here it is. So in this load event I'll just double click on this load event. So form users load, in here we'll need to copy this. So whenever we click on our user form, whenever we view our user form, our users will be loaded. So let's click on start to run the application. Let's click on users. So it shows the added users whenever we click on our user form. This is due to the page load event. So now let's create a functionality to clear all the fields when the new user is created. If you remember, the data are not cleared when we create a new users, like John, Sina, JHN, mail.com, and username will be JHN Sina, and will be 123. So contact will be something, I don't know. Address will be USA. Gender is male, and user will be user type. When you click on add button, user is successfully created. When we click on OK, these fields are not cleared automatically, but we need to clear all this field. So let's create that functionality. So close the application and go to the form users.cs, and here we will create a new method. So it will be private void and clear. So here we will write the code to clear all the fields. So this will be, first will be txt user id, txt user id dot text is equals to blank. Similarly, txt first name dot text is equals to blank. Txt last name dot text is equals to blank. Now txt username dot text is equals to blank. Then txt password dot text is equals to blank. Similarly, txt contact dot text is equals to blank, and txt address dot text is equals to blank, and cmb gender dot text is equals to blank, and cmb user type dot text is equals to blank. So this is it. Let's check out our form. So first name, last name, email, username, password, contact address, and gender and user type. So this is it. We have created a method to clear all the fields. So we will call this when we successfully insert our user. So this will be called here. So whenever successfully created the user, we will call clear method. So this will clear all the field when a new user is added. Let's check. Click on start, go to users, and let's add another user. This will be Ken. No name is his last name. I don't know his last name, so this is just a test. So Ken at email.com. Username was Ken33. Password don't know. Contact I don't know. Address also USA. Gender male. User type user. So let's click on add. It should clear all this field whenever we click on this OK button. So let's check out. So all of these fields were cleared except email. We forgot to add this email on our clear method. So let's check once again. So let's go to our clear method. So I forgot here, I need to add email, txt email dot text is equals to blank. So this will clear all the fields. So let's run this once again, and this time I will add another user. This will be Acon, don't know, Acon Don. Okay, Acon at email.com. Username Acon, Acon, password 123. Contact will be don't know. Address USA. Gender male, and user type will be user. So add. So all these fields are cleared successfully. So we have successfully added a functionality to add a new user, display the added user in our data grid view, and clear all the field after data is successfully added. So let's create a new functionality to update the user. In order to update our user, we need to have data in this user field. So in order to have this data in user field, we need to add we need to create a event which is called row header mouse click event. So this is a row header. So when we click on this row header, it should show the data of that particular row in our user field. So let's create that. So I'll close this form and select this data grid view. Just select this data grid view and go to properties, and in properties click on event, this thunder icon, and this here we need to select row header mouse click. So search for row header mouse click. So here it is, row header mouse click. So we need to double click on this to create an event. So row header mouse click, here DGV users row header mouse click. Let's get the index of that particular, get the index of particular row. Here index means a number of row in which that data lies. For example, we have 4 data, but actually it starts from with 0, so 0 1 2 3, so it starts with 0, so the first one should have 0 row index, this should have 1 row index, like that. So we need to get that row index in order to select the data from our data grid view. In order to identify the clicked row index, we need to create an integer type variable. I'll call it row index, and it will be e dot row index. So this will give the value of row index value in our row index integer variable. So let's display the value in our text box. So this will be txd user id dot text is equals to dgv users dot rows, and then row index dot cells 0 dot value dot to string. So this will give the first cells value into our text user id. Let's describe again. Go to user. So like I said, this will be 0 1 2 and 3. This will also be 0 1 2 3, like 0 1 2 3 4. So this 0 is the first cell of our data grid view. Similarly, we will need to add txt first name dot text is equals to dgv users dot rows row index dot cells 1 value to string, and then txt last name dot text is equals to dgv users dot rows, then row index dot cells 2 dot value dot to string, then first name last name, then email username, then email dot text is equals to dgv dot rows row index cells 3 dot to string, and then txt username text is equals to dgv dot our rows dot row index dot cells, then 4 dot value dot to string. Similarly, password dot text is equals to dgv dot rows row index cells 5, then value dot to string. After username, then password, after username password, then contact and address, txt contact dot text is equal to dgv rows row index dot cells 6 value dot to string, then txt address dot is equal to dgv users dot rows row index dot cells 7 dot value to string, then txt address, then txt gender, no, cmb gender dot text is equal to dgv users dot rows row index cells 8 dot value dot to string, and then cmb user type dot text is equal to dgv dot rows row index dot cells 9 dot value dot to string. So this is it. I think I have added all of the forms, that is first name, user id, first name, last name, email, username, password, contact address, gender, and user type. So let's save this, Ctrl and S, then let's click on start and check out if our row header mouse click event works perfectly or not. So whenever I click on these rows, the data of particular row should be displayed on all of these forms. So I'll click on first one. So first one is my account, that is Vijay Thapa. So I clicked, so all the data are popped in our forms. Similarly, when I click on 2, all the data are here. Similarly, all of these are showing in our text boxes. So we have successfully created an event for row header mouse clip. Now we need to create an event to update all this data. So I'll just close this and create an event for updating our data. Let's go to the form users design and click on update button, and here this is the update button click event. So first of all, let's get the values from our UI. Get the values from user UI. So here we will be getting all the values that are displayed here. So user ID, first one is user ID. So u.id equals convert. So the data from our this text field will be on string for string data type. So since id is in integer data type, we need to convert string to integer. So convert dot to int 32, then txt user id dot text. So similarly, let's get the values from other input field and add into our user business logic layer, that is u dot first name is equals to txt first name dot text, u dot last name is equals to txt last name dot text, and u dot email is equals to txt email dot text, and u dot username is equals to txt username dot text, u dot password is equal to txt password dot text, then u dot contact is equal to txt contact dot text, then u dot address is equal to txt address dot text, then u dot gender is equal to cmb gender dot text, then u dot user type is equals to cmb dot user type dot text. Similarly, u dot added date is equals to date time dot now, and u dot added by is equals to 1 for now. We are added by is equals to 1 for added by user. So when we have login panel, we'll be inserting the user ID of the user who is logged in our system. For now it will be 1. Now updating data into database. For this we will create a bool type variable, bool success is equals to dal dot update, and passing the value that is u, and if data is not inserted updated successfully, then the value of will be true, else it will be false. So let's check if the data is successfully updated or not. If success is equal to true, data successfully. Similarly, else failed to update user. So here we need to show the data, show the message box dot show user APL successfully updated, and then we need to clear the fields, so call the clear method here. And similarly in else message box dot show fail to update user. So when the user is successfully updated or failed to update, then we need to refresh the data grid view. For this I'll just copy the code from above, that is this, copy and paste here. So saving time. Now let's check if the data is successfully updated or not. I'll just click on start. So go to users and I will select this icon, and we cannot change the value of user ID because it is auto generated. So and we need this user ID to update the data. So let's change the name account from Nepal and Kathmandu. I'll set NPL and NPL KTM, and password will be okay, random number, and this will be also be random. This will be Nepal, and I'll change this to female and user to admin. So let's click on update. So user successfully updated. So this name icon at the email should be changed to this Nepal Kathmandu, Nepal email, etc. So let's check out. Let's click on OK. So it has successfully changed from icon to Nepal, Don to Kathmandu, Nepal. So similarly all the data are successfully changed and added by 1, ended date, and today date and time. So we have successfully updated our user, we have successfully completed the update function. So similarly we will add a functionality to delete the selected data. For this we need to create an event for button delete click event, button delete click event. For this we need to create an event called button delete click event. So let's close this form and let's go to the form and just double click on delete button. So here we are on button delete click event. So here we will write the code to delete the selected user. First of all we need to select the user from data grid view in order to delete that user. So get the user from the form, that is from form. I'll show you the user ID. So let's start. So this is the user ID. So whenever, in order to delete the particular user, we need to select the user first. Without selecting, we cannot delete the user. So if we have to delete this can user, then we need to click this user. So whenever we click, all the data are shown in this text field, and we will need this user ID in order to delete that user. So we are getting this user ID, and based on this user ID we will delete the user. So let's go to our code. So here, so we'll u.id is equals to convert dot to int 32 txt user id dot text. Then we need to create a variable, boolean type variable. So bool success is equals to dl dot delete, and pass the value, that is u, and if data is deleted, then the value of will be, else it will be false. So let's check. If success is equals to true, then similarly else failed to delete user. So we need to show the message. For this, message box dot show successfully, and we need to call the clear method. So now message box dot show failed to delete user. Then refreshing data grid view. For this we need to create a data table. Data table dt is equals to dal dot select, and then dgv users dot data source is equals to dt. So we have successfully written the code to delete the user from our database. So let's check if it's work or not. First of all, save this, Ctrl S, and click on start. Go to users, and let's select the user. I will select this fourth user and click on delete. So user successfully deleted. Let's check out if this works or not. So click on OK. So user has successfully deleted. It disappeared from the data grid view. So in this episode we have successfully added a functionality to add new user, update the existing user, and delete the existing user, and also showing the data into data grid view. In the next episode we'll be adding functionality to search users using this search box. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe. If you have any question related to this video, then don't forget to comment. I'll reply as soon as possible. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.